And I have another great interview for you. This time we are speaking to the management of American Pacific Mining. Now, we've talked to this company before back in November of last year. At that time, its share price was about 135% lower than it is now. So, Warwick Smith, CEO of the company, Eric Saderholm, who's the president and chief geologist of the company, are here to explain why this stock is doing so well, what the company has going on for it, and what they look for in the future. Now, just to give you a brief update, just in case you don't remember the last video, they are exploring in Montana. They have a great copper project there, high grade. They have investment from Rio Tinto, which, you get the big boys invested, or I should say, interested in a project when it has enormous potential. They don't nose around for the small change. They want the big dog. So that's what they're in there for. Plus, they have two other projects in Nevada, which I hope we have time to get to speak about. So, guys, take it away. Who would like to speak first?
Sure, I'll go first, and then I'll
Okay.
pass off to Eric. Sean, appreciate the time as always.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's been a busy time. In the past 3 weeks, the stock has done incredibly well. It's traded about 45 million shares in the past 3 weeks with a lot of institutional support, which is great to see. It's really where we wanted to get to, where we had all the institutions getting interested and owning the company.
Hmm.
That's where we are now. And that's really been a big part of the precipice for change. We took an investment from a gentleman by the name of Michael Gentile, who is a well-known mining financier.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Michael was involved in Arizona Metals early, and got started looking at around 20 cents, and the stock's $5 now. He kind of takes that institutional level research to these junior mining stories, which is unique, and then gets involved with 6 or 7 of them. That's about it, and takes big positions. He took a 19.9% position here, so he's a registered insider of the company.
Hmm.
Has been incredibly helpful in opening doors for us and giving us the spark that we needed to really shine a light on what we're doing. And so, what are we doing? We're working with Rio Tinto. They may spend up to $30 million US to earn 70% of our Madison project. Very high grade skarnet surface, porphyry underneath. They are drilling as we speak. They're into their 3rd year of drill campaign. We're very excited to have them as a partner. They've been a great partner so far, great communicator, and they're busy. They're busy exploring today. I think the point that we want to get across to subscribers of yours and to people out there, is the opportunity that this can get big. And I'll let Eric talk on that for 2 minutes after this. But I think that's the point that guys should look at. Owning 30% of a Rio Tinto size target when you've got a $40 million market cap can be a tremendous lift for shareholders.
Hmm.
I'll give you an example. Reservoir Minerals, they had an asset that was an epithermal at surface and a porphyry underneath, so similar to what we have here. They ended up owning 30% of it. Nevson bought that 30% out for $360 million US.
Hmm.
So there is the opportunity here for a tremendous lift based on discovery. I'll pass off to Eric, and I'll just preface this by saying, Eric knows the Western U.S. better than most. He was the head of exploration in the Western U.S. for Newmont. So it
Yes.
was up to Eric to help decide what assets Newmont was gonna buy in the Western U.S. And this looks a lot like something that Eric worked on before. So Eric, why don't I let you chime in here?
Okay, well, Warwick and we toured this back in 2016. Another company picked it up, and so we lost out on that deal. But it became available last year, so we swooped in and got it because we really did like it. What I was taken with when I got underground in 2016 was the similarities to the Fortitude deposit, which is located near Battle Mountain, Nevada. The textures are very similar, the rocks are similar, the mode of mineralization is very similar. So that started out quite small at 100,000 ounces and wound up being 2.2 million ounces. So this has the same kind of earmarks, the same signature at the surface, and it just keeps getting bigger as Rio keeps drilling. So that's the way the Fortitude got bigger. So we see a lot of similarities there too. And also they've drilled into porphyritic rocks, which excite them about the potential of a deeper porphyritic system. So it's got all the characteristics that you'd want to have in a big deposit.
Okay. Now we are speaking about the Madison project in Montana, and this is a past producing project, isn't that right? Or
This was last in production between 2008 and 2012.
mhm.
They produced 2.7 million pounds of copper at an average grade between 20 and 35% copper.
Those aren't
Um,
grades you come across every day. That's pretty amazing. Yeah.
I think your average grade of your producing copper mine is around 0.5% copper.
Mhm.
So 20 to 35% is pretty spectacular. There was also 7,500 ounces of gold in there at 16.1 grams per ton gold. So,
Mhm.
you know, great gold grades as well. Look, locally in this system, the grades are spectacular. You know, and I think that's what really initially caught our attention and probably what caught Rio's attention as well. From there, the fact that the predecessor drilled into the porphyry, that was really what gave them excitement. We're 48 kilometers away from the Butte mine. It's the third largest porphyry in the world. Produced 21 billion pounds of copper, 3 million ounces of gold, and 715 million ounces of silver. That's the big prize for Rio. If we get there, I mean, that's just a tremendous win for American Pacific shareholders. The skarnet surface is a Rio Tinto sized target as well, which has given us real excitement, real near-term excitement too. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and we're doing a better job now of getting that across to the market, and people are starting to understand it. So that's been, like I say, that's been the precipice of change for becoming more institutionally owned.
Okay, great. And the reason these gentlemen are speaking about another project is, as we often see with this kind of geology, they form like a string of pearls. I've seen that in like Nevada, for example, where y- you can have very similar deposits end up like in a string. So maybe that's what's going on here. More drilling will actually reveal what's underneath there. So, how much drilling is Rio going to do this year, and when will you guys have results?
Yeah, so from here forward, we're going to have consistent news flow, Sean, which is going to be great. We're gonna put out an update coming out here shortly. They did some trenching, which they got which we're very excited to put some news out on here shortly, and then drill results. They're doing a 4,000 meter campaign. They're going to have 2 core drills turning. They have 1 turning right now. They're bringing in a second. We're very excited to start getting that news flow out. The timing actually is sequentially has worked out quite well, because one of the other assets, the 2 assets we have, is called Gooseberry, very high grade silver gold asset, just outside of Reno, Nevada. Last in production 1994, hasn't been touched since 1994.
Hmm.
We're going to drill that around the end of the summer. So we're very excited to get in and get drills turning there. That's going to keep news flow going for, you know, the rest of this year and then into 2022 as well. So lots of news ahead for us.
Okay, well, since you are speaking about other projects, you also have a gold project in Nevada as well, right? So let's hear about that too. I know you aren't going to work on it immediately, but it has potential, isn't that right?
Without doubt, Tuscarora, the one that you're referencing, is just outside of Elko, Nevada. It's actually the asset that we started the company on. We've
Hmm.
really focused on high grade assets in the Western U.S. That has been our focus, and Tuscarora and Gooseberry certainly fit the bill on that. Um, Tuscarora, high grade gold asset. Gooseberry, high grade gold and silver. Some of the grades at Gooseberry where we're going to drill are off the charts. You know, past production grades of like 0.9 meters of 113 grams per ton gold and 4,500 grams per ton silver. This is actually what it looks like. This is sitting on my desk.
Awesome.
This was not a plant, but it does sit on my desk all the time, so I'll just show it. But yeah, we're really excited to get out and drill that, and Eric's been kicking me to drill that project since we got it, so I know he's getting his wish, so I know he's happy.
All right,
Yep.
Eric, would you like to say anything about these projects?
Not, I'll just mention that the Tuscarora right now, we're putting together the data. We actually have some decent geophysics that we haven't incorporated into structural, I guess, appreciation of the area. So we're
Hmm.
going to start to put together we have permits in place still to drill. So I'm in the process of putting together a program. For a while, we had a JV partner, and that didn't work out. So now we've got it back. We decided, actually with Michael's advice, probably to put together a drill program and maybe get out and drill that this year again as well. We drilled $1
Okay.
million worth of holes there back in 18. So we're familiar with the area, familiar with the geology. And we're very excited to drill at Gooseberry because the last time we drilled at Gooseberry was 1989.
Excellent.
So yeah, when we get in, it's going to be a fun program, fun summer. It's
All
just
right.
getting the equipment is a little bit challenging right now. It's really rocking down here in Nevada.
Because everybody wants to drill, everybody was cooped up. They just want to head back out in the field, do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Since you raised money, let me ask Work another question, which is that I know you guys recently raised cash. How are you set up for cash, and how fast are you actually burning through it?
Listen, we're in a really good spot. We've got $4.2 million in cash. We've got another $5 million of warrants that are in the money. Warrants are coming down every day, and presently we only burn $100,000 a month.
Nice.
But don't let that low burn rate fool you. Rio Tinto is fitting the bill, and we're
Yeah.
free carried, so they're spending the money, which is creating the news. Now that burn rate will increase with us drilling Gooseberry. We'll spend about $1.5 million there when we start drilling, which will, as I say, will be at the end of the summer. But no, we're in a very good position cash wise. There's about 82 million shares out. There's $4.2 million in cash, another 5 million that are coming in on a daily basis.
Okay, good. So you'll have plenty of news flow. We know that Rio's going to drill about 4,000 feet. So you'll have that going on. And then at the end of the summer, you're going to drill one of your projects. And maybe if Eric gets his way, you'll do something with the other one. We'll see what happens. So is there anything that I'm missing? Anything else happening with the company over the course of, say, the rest of this year that like people
Yeah,
should know about?
I'd be happy to chime in on this. It's actually 4,000 meters that Rio's drilling,
Oh,
and we'll
sorry. Did I
probably
say
do.
feet?
Yeah, no, that's all good. Yeah, it's the Canadian in me noticing the meters.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, we'll drill 4,000 meters there, and then when we get to Gooseberry, we'll probably do around 5,000 meters at
Mhm.
Gooseberry. So it'll be a good sized program there. We're always looking at additional assets. We've done a good job in the past of being able to pick up assets and see them grow. We're going to continue to do that. Yeah, this is obviously a very significant year for American Pacific, and I'll give the symbols up in Canada. The symbol is USGD, and the symbol down in the States is USGDF.
That's on the OTCQX, isn't it?
QB,
Oh,
OTCQB. Yeah,
OTCQB. Okay.
yeah,
But
yeah.
okay, good. All right. So that's great. Thanks so much for speaking to me today, because I always find the story fascinating. And hey, I mean, a stock that moved 135% since I talked to you last time. Obviously, there's some momentum behind this. As you say, you have a new investor, but also you're getting institutional interest. That's helping. Rio, that really carries a lot of weight, and the high grade, that nice high grade that really smooths over a lot of bumps in the road that could come down, as it does with any project. So that's all good. Thanks, gentlemen. Is there anything you'd like to add before we go?
No, that's great, Sean. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll just to recap, drilling and significant news coming. So yeah, big year ahead for American Pacific, and we're really excited, and we certainly appreciate the time as always.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for speaking to my viewers. You folks stay tuned. I'll have more for you. Let me tell you, since the whole pandemic thing is kind of fading, I am receiving calls from all sorts of companies that really want to get back to work. This is a very exciting time, and gold looks poised to head higher. So, also copper. As you know, I'm a big investor in like copper miners, which is one reason that I find this company very interesting. So, let's stay tuned. This is going to be a wild ride, and I can't wait to see what happens with these guys next. So stay tuned. This is Sean Broderick in Florida speaking to guys in Canada, but there's more good news coming.